What's up, guys? So check it out. I just made a few videos, and I was mentioning on those videos about how I developed. It's basically about self-improvement, how I developed my nutrition, health, and diet. A little bit about that, and how I developed my exercise routines and habits, and all of this that I share. All of this that I share was basically me wanting to change things for the better, to improve, to strengthen, to grow, and for my family, for my children, for myself. So that's why I started to do all these things. And that was a part of the why I wanted to do it. I have a video on that too. It's also about self-development. What do you want to do, and why do you want to do it? That is basically what you want to figure out first and foremost. And I have a video on that, so you could check that out. I share as best as I am able, so that hopefully it can help somebody who's trying to figure out how to progress or how to proceed, etc. So anyways, in these videos I mentioned that in January of last year I started to create like a 30-day goals list, and then a 60-day goals list, and then I would just continue from there. A part of the goals, besides exercise, nutrition, health, a part of those goals, I had other goals as well. I'm going to share a few more of those right now. And like I said, all of this, what the point of it all was basically self-development, improving myself when it came to commitment, learning how to commit, self-discipline, mental clarity, getting to know what I really wanted with my life, what I wanted my life to consist of. That's what these goals basically were. That was the purpose of all this. So these are a few other goals I had. I had so many. I have the list. I'll look for it. I have the list somewhere. The lists that I made. But I'll pull them out. I'll look for them. However, these are some that I remember off the bat, just off the top. Like selfless goals. So here's one. These might sound like they should be common sense, but I very consciously made these goals, okay? For example, bond with my children significantly. Pay attention to each child. I have 3 children. So one of my goals was to pay attention to each child individually, and to significantly bond with them, and to really express my love and care for them, and to cherish them, and to really find a way to connect with them very genuinely, very honestly. Now, I'm pretty good at this in general, but I consciously made that a goal, to find an opportunity to bond with them one-on-one, and to really cherish that moment, and to really focus on making that happen. So I did. So I would find a moment, and it had to be significant, and I had to be honest with myself. It didn't matter how long or when or anything, but it had to be very worthy. It had to be a worthy, significant moment. It could be 20, 30 minutes. It could be a half a day. It could be 10 minutes. It didn't matter. And I found them, and I would check them off. And I wouldn't just take any moment, because I was with them pretty frequently. But when I finally found that opportunity to make it a significant, bonding, very genuine moment, then I would just naturally take that opportunity, and then I would check it off my goals list. My children, for example, one of their names is Haley. So I'd be like, all right, check. I got that bond with Haley. I got that significant, awesome moment that I wanted with her. I check it off, and then I'd still have my other two. The other two, their names are Jose and Adriel, and I got them too. Here's another one. I didn't live with them last year. more than a few years ago, for whatever reasons, life happens. I moved out of the house, but I lived with them for many years, and I had a beautiful experience. It wasn't all perfect. Like everybody knows, life is, a roller coaster, ups and downs. But I mentioned these kinds of things on what and why you want to make changes. And a huge part of that is reflecting on your life. What have you experienced? How do you feel about your life? What your life has consisted of? How do you feel about where you have come to be in life and how you are at your present moment? How you behave, how you carry yourself, how you've developed, what is in your life right now at the present moment. What do you like, and what do you like about yourself and your life, and what don't you like, etc. So anyways, I didn't live with my children last year, and I'm specifically talking about last year, so we'll keep it at that. But I did see them fairly frequently, fairly often, and considering that I worked, here's another thing. So when I made my 30 days goals list and when I made my 60 days goals list, I was working on average a minimum of 60 hours a week. And so sometimes up to 70 or more. And so while I was doing all these goals, I had to learn how to organize myself. I had to really, really understand what I wanted and why. So from there, here's another one. Gratitude goals. Okay, gratitude goals. So here's a goal. I put, find a moment to express gratitude toward 3 people. Significant, honest expression of gratitude. So I would find, like, for example, the mother of my children, and I would tell her, but it would be very genuine, a very natural moment. I would tell her, hey, listen, it would happen very naturally, and I'm pretty good at this, like I said, at these kinds of things in general, but I very consciously paid attention to doing these things. So I would be like, check it out. I'm not sure if I would tell her something like this. I'm not sure if I've made it, enough effort to express this to you, but there is an endless amount of things I could say about why I genuinely, sincerely appreciate you, why I cherish you. And we're not together, but that's not the point. But just to clear up the story, so you can get an idea of what I was going through. So I would let her know how much I care about her, how much I love her, how much she means to me, and how significant and genuine, for so many reasons, why I really meant what I was saying. And I would explain to her a little bit, being such young people, and then we had children, and then we're experiencing life, and we're trying to do our best while we grow and develop, and trying to understand our emotions and who we are, etc. And just doing our best. And sometimes, lack of effort made things more difficult, and so on and so forth, not knowing any better, etc. So anyways, I would find an opportunity to express my genuine, sincere gratitude towards her. And I would do this with 3 different people. And then I would check them off. That was another example of things on my goals lists. These were a part of my goals. Then I would have like financial goals. For example, in 30 days, contribute $1,000 to my children for, towards their well-being. And often, I would say mostly, I would exceed my goals, whether they were exercise goals, nutrition goals, health goals, diet goals, gratitude goals, selfless goals, financial goals, whatever. I would make significant goals, and more often than not, I would exceed them. Another kind of goal I would regularly have would be read a book or read 2 books, etc. Depending on how long my goals were. Eventually, I just had a goal, dude. Read a book, read 2 books. And then here's another example. Oh, I would also put like, you know, some kind of goal with, or some kind of focus on writing. So I would keep a journal. I would like to journal or write my feelings, my emotions, how I felt. And here's one other thing I'll share real quick. Oh, here, I got these too. So I just let my friend borrow 3 of my books, but these are some of the first books I read. First, there was one called, it's by Steve Seibold. I hope I said that right. And it's some, I've read it 3 times. I believe I'm on my 4th time reading it, but I let my friend borrow it. It's called 177 Secrets of Mental Toughness, something along those lines. And then another one that I read, one of the first books I ever read, was also one called, and I let my friend borrow these 3 books because they were the first 3 books that I read that really helped me. They were called Hard Goals, When Everything Changes, Change Everything, and 177 Secrets of Mental Toughness, something like that. My favorite book by far that I've read. I love it. And here's another one. So those 3 I don't have with me. Like I said, I let one of my friends borrow those 3 books just a few days ago. But here's another one. It's called A Simple Act of Gratitude. This is also another one of the first books I read. And here's another one. Success Acceleration. And I have other ones I'm reading. And I've read a lot of these books more than once. So those were a part of my goals as well. And then I would make what I like to call little books of quotes. Okay, and those were part of my goals too, like complete a book of quotes. And I have those right here. So check it out. I have 3 right here. I had a 4th. I'm not sure what happened to it. I wanted to complete it. I have a lot of cards ready to go, and I want to go look for it. I had it here not too long ago. I want to go look for it to just fill it up, start filling it up. For whatever reason, I can't find it, but I do have 3 with me right here that I did complete. And these were examples of other goals I would do. For example, this one says, it's easier, I'll show it to you first. It says, it's easier to act your way into good thinking than it is to think your way into good acting or a good action. Anyways, I would just write quotes. Proving oneself is a forced process. Expressing oneself is a natural process. Expressing oneself creates fulfillment in the act itself. Okay? If it is to be, it is up to me. That's another one. Okay? Causes create effects. Pros seek fulfillment first through loving what they do. Money and material possessions are effects. The masses are focused on the effects. Even if they succeed acquiring money and possessions, fulfillment continues to elude them. Okay, so all these books are completely filled with quotes. Okay, there's one. There's the first one I ever made right here. Okay, completely full of quotes. And like I said, I was just about ready to get the 4th one done, but I gotta go get more of these and whatever. I'll just keep it moving. I'll go get another one. And so these are other examples of the goals of the self-development. There was more, but these are just a few examples, and I hope that helps somebody. So I would combine goals. Like I said, I would make a 30-day goal list. Exercise was a part of it, nutrition, health, diet, meditation, for example, that was another one, and so on and so forth. Reading books, selfless goals, gratitude goals, financial goals, self-educating myself through reading. Eventually I moved into really focusing on studying nutrition more towards the end of last year, and then I'll speak more about what I'm doing now in later videos, but that was about last year. So those videos are up. Check them out if you'd like. They're up, and I hope that helps somebody. Like I said, I combine goals, and these are a few examples, and the videos are up. Check them out. Talk to y'all later.